Guys, I can see you there. Amanda jumped in there. I hadn't. What? I couldn't do it. I've managed to. I've had to start a new one. Just couldn't link on it. People starting to jump in now.
Take it out then.
No, go on, get out. Evening. Even though I'm just waiting for everyone else to catch up. We had 70 in the other one. I just don't know what happened. Genuinely, I just couldn't start the live at all. Nightmare, absolute nightmare. But I can see we're starting to get a few in here now, which is good. Appreciate everyone jumping 33. We're halfway through what we had on the other one. Just explaining that I had a nightmare. I couldn't connect to the live. Don't know what I've done. Couldn't do it, so I've had to start a new one. I'm definitely not technical. I'll be honest. I'm awful at this type of stuff, so you'll have to bear with me. But I appreciate everyone jumping straight over to this one. Straight away. I'm gonna try. I'm going to try and add Jack into this live, but I have no idea what I'm doing, so don't even know how to get the link. There's a share button. Yeah, it's not that. Um, don't start, Ollie. I had technical difficulties like you did with the polytunnel. Well, thanks everyone. We've got 62 in here now. Massive appreciation, really do. I'm not gonna go through all the comments because there's a lot of people, but I appreciate everyone who's here. And we'll get into it in a minute. But 75 watching, fantastic. I really had every intention of bringing Jack onto this, but as I said, I'm not technical whatsoever, and I don't know how to. So, if anyone can put in how I can add someone into this live, please, I would massively appreciate it. 77 watching, fantastic. Really appreciate it. Koyagi, I'll give you a shout out. Um, you'll have to bear with me, people. As I said, I'm just not great at this type of thing. But I really did think I could just add someone in, but possibly not. Dean, nice to have you, mate. Wouldn't be the same without you. Hit the plus symbol at the bottom of the screen, Danny, if you're using StreamYard. I'm not using StreamYard because I didn't realise I couldn't use YouTube Studio to do this, and I'm gutted I didn't use StreamYard because I'm having an absolute nightmare so far. Literally, like minutes leading up to half past, I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. I've only ever been live once, and it was for like 10 minutes at one of Jack's events. So yeah, that was a learning curve, people, learning curve. But carry on putting your messages through. Anyone's got any questions, and just wanted to say that the massive support that I had for like the failure that I'd done the other day with them fish, couldn't believe it. I had a comment saying that it wasn't the silicone that done it, but I did parameter checks. I was speaking to Jack all day, and he knows I've done the parameter checks and stuff, and everything was fine. I mean, I'd say it was a little bit pink. My ammonia was a little bit not yellow, but they were good. Do you know what I mean? There was 35 fish in the pond, and they were fine. Like, everything was okay. Do you know what I mean? Nothing was in dangerous levels. There wasn't too much food going in. There was nothing else that um shouldn't really have happened. Do you know what I mean? I just have like battered my head thinking what else could it have been, but the only difference was the silicone. And if I wouldn't have been messing with them filters the day before, then I definitely wouldn't have. There wouldn't have been any problems. I don't believe, but yeah, I messed with the filters, and what can you say? Do you know what I mean? I've killed 25 fish all in all. There was a couple struggling for life. I had them on oxygen, fresh dechlorinated water, but just what can you do? It was a nightmare, honestly. I was absolutely devastated. I'm generally not one for crying, but I felt myself like wanting to cry when I opened that door and seen about 10 floating at first, and I was like, oh, you know what I mean, gutted. But then obviously straight away started getting the chlorinated water into the big measuring bowl I had. Got one of the heaters in it because obviously it was cold water coming out of the tap, so I wanted to get that water up because I didn't want to kill the rest. Moving them over, but as I was netting the other fish that were alive, there was just dead ones in there too that were coming up. So it ended up being a count of 25 fish. Some of them being like tiddlers, which I'm surprised they were in there anyway, to be honest. But yeah, some like that Sorghum. Honestly, I had visions of that growing that to 60, 70, 80 centimetres in years to come. It was mad. It had this big head on it, big back, shoulders. Um, I bought a crate plus click on the live together. There's no live together. There's four buttons. One's I can turn the camera on, one's a chat button, one's this thing here which changes what I look like. And then I've got a save highlight, share, mute microphone. That's all that I've got at the bottom of the screen. And I've got nothing on the top. I was going to use the laptop. I was talking to Jack just before the live. And no, I don't think I ever would have got the Sorghum to 90 cm ANC. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I was talking to Jack before it, and I said I can't use the laptop in here because the internet from the house just doesn't work in the conservatory. The internet in the house is awful, to be honest. Sky's crap. Um, so yeah, so there's been a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, and a couple of things I wanted to talk about, and one was like I'm gonna be careful how I say it, but the snobbery around koi. I've had a couple of people lately saying to me about like there's no point buying koi unless the Japanese koi and stuff like that. Now, if you're gonna show them or breed them, I can sort of get on board with that. I go, you want to breed high quality, and I get that. That's fair enough. But if it's just for you in your garden, and let's be honest, most of us haven't got the most amazing ponds, have we? Do you know what I mean? I've got a sleeper pond with a liner. Some people got really nice ponds, but the majority of people have got DIY ponds. Do you know what I mean? Liners, or they might be fiberglass, but it's they're still not show ponds, and that's not me having a dig at anyone because as I say, I've got a liner and a sleeper pond, so that's not me having a dig at anyone. But what my point is what's this need to have these fish that we can't afford to have, that we can only possibly buy maybe once, twice a year maximum. Um, Buying small fish because you can't afford the big fish and stuff like that. I don't really get it. I really struggle to understand, and I'd love to for someone to educate me on it because unless you're showing them, unless you're spawning them, I honestly don't get it. I don't get what's the hype around going. It's gotta be a Dainichi Kahu or um like a Secret Sankey or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't get it. Like I've got nice fish, really nice fish. I've got a couple of Japanese fish. Most of them are Shikigoi, as most of you know. I love my fish. Some of them are probably not really from anywhere. Do you know what I mean? They're just I've got them from someone else or whatever. They've had them for a couple of years. I love my fish, and I think my fish is stunning looking fish, but I don't really get the whole I don't really get the whole like if it's not Jap, it's not worth buying unless you've obviously got a purpose for it. You want to show it, you want to spawn it, then that makes a bit of sense. But yeah, let me know what you think as well because I'd I genuinely would like to like to understand this this sort of what I see as koi snobbery. When people generally we're normal people, we haven't got loads of money and we've just got these normal ponds. I sort of don't. I miss the hype on going. Well, me ponds could be built for 500 quid, but me fish have got to be £500 each. To me, it seems like the wrong way round. Do you know what I mean? But that's my sort of take on it. John, it's just the worst. Sky is awful. They tie you into contracts. If you don't renew when you're meant to, they just tie you in for another 2 years. Sky's crap. Don't anyone ever go with Sky. It's a bad, they're just bad company. But I've got this Vodafone Wi-Fi box that I used to use for the shop, and I was going to use that, but it breaks down. Do you know what I mean? It's really good. When it's really good, you can stream on it, boss, but then it just cuts out whenever it wants as well, which is not great. But my phone on the other hand is like good stuff. Shisui, hey, koi. Um, yeah, it's in a poor bit. Yeah, I get that. It's like I want nice fish, and one day I've got aspirations of having some really high quality Japanese koi. I have, do you know what I mean? Because it's a nice point to get to. What I don't really get is people saying there's no point having fish unless you've got them type of Japanese fish. Blows me away. Like at the end of the day, they all look nice. You know what I mean? You might have some bit different quality and higher quality and whatever, but they're nice, aren't they? Like we're into koi. I never got into koi because I wanted the best Sakai fish farm went on at that. I didn't. I got into koi because I wanted some fish. Do you know what I mean? Originally, we just had a tank in the conservatory. We had a couple of I've said this before in a couple of my videos when my dad had a pond. I grew up with a pond and stuff like that, so I have been round fish. I used to match fish every Sunday. Done that for years. But at first we wanted a little tank in the conservatory. Got a 6 foot tank. We got two mirrors, two tench, two roach. No, what do you know? Two bream. We just had like two common. Do you know what I mean? Just for basic like pond fish, coarse fishing fish, and that's what we had, and that was sort of the thing. And then what I didn't realise is I killed half of them. I'll be straight, because um the temperature raises up and drops so much in this conservatory day and night that they just weren't surviving. And obviously, when I started looking into it, I realised why. So then I built a pond outside, put them in the pond, bought some koi, bought some more koi, built a bigger pond, bought some more koi, knocked that down, built another pond, got more koi, knocked that down, built a bigger pond, bought more koi. And yeah, that was generally how it went. So I ended up on like 4 ponds. It's like watching my fish. That's it, Ollie. That's just like watching the fish, mate, honestly. That's what it's about, you know what I mean? And I do see a lot of stuff on here about it, like the what I class as koi snobbery, whether people do or not. I don't know. I hope that light above's not too blinding. Yeah, what I class as koi snobbery, like I don't like people getting pulled down over what they can afford to buy, and they'd rather buy a £200 6 inch Tosai than a £200, 45 centimeter Nisai. Like, to me, depending on what you want it for, if you just want a nice fishing night pond, I'd rather have the Nisai all day, every day. What am I missing in the chat? £25, £500, £55, £850, £100, £700 with shipping, £80, £200. My max per koi. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I've bought some nice fish, and some have got decent price tags attached to them. The other conversation I was having with Dean the other day, and I thought it made sense. So I wanted to buy a batch of high-end Tosai to grow on. That was my sort of thought. Thank God I never now, because they would have been in that pond and they would have probably been belly up and I would have been crying. So I'm glad I didn't, but that was my plan. So the big Sankey I got from Jack, if you remember, I called it a shower, blah blah blah. Yeah, I made a mistake. The big Sankey I got from Jack, I love that fish. It's Sansai, um, which will be going on to Yonsai, I believe, in this year. Um, it's a stunning fish, and the bonus of that is when I pick that fish is always going to look like that fish, because it might change tiny bits, but because it's Sansai, it's 3 years old. The most of the pattern changing, the growth and stuff has happened. It will change, a little bit over time, which is like everything, but it's not going to change dramatically. So, um, yeah, so it's not gonna. I'm sorry, I can't talk and read at the same time. Like I have to stop. Like if I'm trying to read a text and I'm walking around the shops, I have to stand still. I'm bad for it, you know. But Becky goes mad. But yeah, so that's my point. So that Sankey is always going to look like a nice Sankey. Whereas if I would have went out and bought a couple of small toe-size Sankeys for say £200 each from a famous fish farm, in 2 to 3 years, they could be pointless. You know, they could be not even nice pond fillers. They might be big, but they could have no pattern. The pattern could fall away. It's not guaranteed that just because you're buying from a high-end farm that you're going to end up with high-end fish. Tens of thousands of fish come out of the spawn. So that koi guy, thanks for the comment, and I appreciate your comment on the video as well. Guys, I just want to say, sorry, I know I'm going off subject, so I'll go back to that in a second. I had over 145, 150 likes on that video as well about the fish that I accidentally killed. I'm not shying away from it. Obviously, I did, it was a mistake, but I killed 25 fish, and that was like proper gut wrenching for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, not that it's really about me, but I killed 25 fish and I was devastated. I generally was, but I was gonna ride I wasn't gonna put it out. So that video, if you noticed, I'm swearing in it and I'm saying lad, because that video only got sent to Jack and Dean, because I was sending it private, and on the end of that video I said, can you, like, please don't share it. But then that same day I thought, no, I'm gonna share it and I'm gonna put it out there, because I just felt like it should have been out there. Do you know what I mean? Because stuff like, well, two reasons really. The silicone, anyone could have done it, and no doubt someone probably has done it before and will definitely do it again. So if I can stop someone doing something like that, then, bonus. And on the other hand as well, this is about my koi journey, and that's a big part of my koi journey. So I don't want to spend the next however many years not lying about it, or someone goes, "Ah, that's sorry, we're getting on now, make a lie up." I don't want to do that. I'd rather just say, you know what, I killed it by accident, but I'm devastated, but I killed it. I know, Eden Koi Pond and Garden, I know, mate, but, and I appreciate it, but yeah, I'm just gonna have to swallow it, because yeah, I killed me fish. And I'm not laughing about that. I'm laughing at what you said to him. Don't. I didn't kill them, but yeah, it was an accident, but I did. And we all have, I've had, as I said, I've had the odd ones before. Like, one of my mirrors that died in that was one of the ones that survived from the tank when I lost a few in there. Yeah, Phil, to be honest, mate, there was three fish in that pond. Telford Koi saying it always has to be your favourite fish. There was three fish in that pond that were the highest value fish, and between the three of them, they were worth over £650. Cost me that, and all three survived. So, as much as I was devastated, and especially over the Sorghum, I was devastated. The actual money value, the spawn stock, which I've got for next year, well, not next year, it'll be 2 years from now, 18 months, they survived. So that was that was a massive relief. Even though I was devastated over the others, I was super happy that at least they hadn't passed. Like, what a miss, Jack. What we hide from nothing. If there's anyone that needs to be named and shamed in the comments, you just let me know, fella. Because I've said this before, this will be no holds barred. If anyone comes on here to give anyone else a hard time, I swear to God, I will name and shame you. Because it's just not going to be that type of party. It's not how I roll. So, yeah, I'll say it to your face, and I'll say it on the live in front of 106 people currently. If there's anyone in here giving anyone a hard time, you will be named and shamed. Don't you worry about that. Who's that? Leave who on, don't be new. I can't keep up with these comments, are coming through too fast, so someone's going to have to tell me what's going on. Yes, lad. Yeah, Barry Hill, yes, lad. Captain Koi is the one, Danny. Who's Captain Koi? I don't know who Captain Koi is. I feel like I can't keep up with these comments at the same time, I'll be honest. Um, yeah, so if whatever's going on in the comments there, if someone could give me a quick little short message that I can just read just to catch up. But yeah, so that was one I wanted to get across, the koi snobbery. I don't like it, I'll be honest. I don't, I watch it, I see a lot of it, you know what I mean? And I see a lot of people getting put down for some fish. Whether you spend £4 on a fish or £4,000 on a fish, if you like that fish, I like Dino's in the comments there. He loves his fish. Like, that lad's got a serious problem. He loves them fish. He sends me pictures of his fish on a regular basis and asks me what I think about them fish. And he loves them fish, you know. Like, most of his fish aren't big fish, but he prefers the small ones. He prefers, like, the way they feed, you know what I mean? And he actually got rid of a few of his bigger ones this year because he wants more smaller ones. That's his thing, do you know what I mean? But you know, look, he proper loves his fish, and that's a nice thing. And he doesn't chase Japanese koi. He's got a bit of everything in his pond, you know what I mean? But there's some cracking, some little belts. He's got a lovely little Sankey, cracking little Sankey. Um, but no, he does, like, you know what I mean, and I think that's the game. You're meant to enjoy your fish. Who's Captain Koi? What am I missing here? But Sue, mate. Lad, look, if there's a troll, is Captain Koi a troll? Yeah, let's see. Right. Captain Koi's gone. I don't know what was going on there, but you're gone, lad. Um, yeah, I don't like all that. Why do it? Why come on here? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's nice to be nice, you know. Fella years ago told me, said it's nice to be important, it's more important to be nice. I've tried and live by that, do you know what I mean? I am a little bit aggressive. I'll hold my hands up to that. I can be a little bit aggressive, but generally, it is nice to be nice, and that's Captain Koi is gone. I can say he has left the building, and he will not be returned. I would have named and shamed him, but I don't know who he is to do that. So that's uh, that's that one. So anything else people want to talk about? I've got a few things I want to talk about. One in particular is I do not like when people, YouTubers, use other people's content to try and promote their own channel. Some people might know who I'm talking about here. Video went out today talking about someone else's video. The other video was actually a very good video, which was knowledgeable, and I learned something from it. And then someone else made a video trying to discredit that video. Now, I don't like that, because it takes a lot to come on YouTube and make a video. It takes a lot to put yourself out there and try and educate someone else, and it did educate me. So for someone to then more than welcome at Comedy Central. So sorry. So for someone to put themselves out there and make a video, and then for someone else to come along and go, "Oh well, you don't actually do it that way. You do it this way." Blah blah. It's not nice. Do you know what I mean? It's really not nice. And what video, Danny say? Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's from my place. If the guy who knows what he's talking about comments and says I can, then I'll drop it in. So I've come prepared though. I might not have got the live light, but I did bring the drink. So yeah, if he says I can say it, then I'll say it. Do you know what I mean? But otherwise I won't. But yeah, it's not nice, guys. Do you know what I mean? It's not nice. It takes a lot. Do you know what I mean? My first videos, if you go back and watch them, I'm just like I really didn't like want to speak. I didn't know how to, and Yeah, as I said, if the guy who's in question mentions it and says I can, then I will. But if he doesn't, then I won't, because I'm just not that type of guy. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna I'm not gonna jump on and start throwing people's names about, because it's not my place to do that. I also I've got the 4,500 litre, which is 1,000 gallon, which is the one that's got the bigger koi in, and then I've got the 2,000 to 2,500, which is a small one. It is 2,500, but I never have the water that high to make it that, so it's more like 2,000. But if I fully filled it up, it'd be 2,500 litres. It should have been 3,000 litres, but I put that much insulation in it. It had 4 inches of insulation all the way around, that I lost 500 litres, believe it or not. Um, Jack, when am I harvesting the lake? The lake, so somewhere between March and April, depending on weather and schedules and stuff like that. So we've got a quad, because the field that we've got to get across with the fish is boggy and we won't get vans across. So we've got a quad and a sailor, which is going to move the fish from the lake to the road. The reason people can't go to the lake, because access is a nightmare. Honestly, absolute nightmare. I have to use the neighbour's entrance, because the road, which is the proper entrance, you can't drive down there properly because the roads fell away. You can't walk across the field because it's so boggy. Um, it's just not really accessible for people. So it's a bit of a nightmare. And also, this lake is situated right in the middle of Liverpool. Now, I am proud, born and bred Scouser. I love this city. But there's a few thieves around here. I don't know if anyone's ever told you, but there's the odd little thief around. So I am a bit hesitant about disclosing the location of this lake, because I've got a horrible feeling that you might get 10 scallies with a couple of nets trying to rob my beautiful fish. Um, so yeah, that's maybe one day, if we have spoke about putting CCTV down there. We got a set of 9 foot gates put on the entrance, but gates and locks don't stop people when they're determined. Is it Sefton Park, Danny? It could be Sefton Park. It's big enough. But yeah, honestly, I am a bit skeptical. They will nick the CCTV and the gates. Are a good set of gates, to be fair. But I honestly, I am a bit skeptical about it. You know what I mean? Like, I love my city. I'm proud of my city. But yeah, robbing little fuckers if they get a chance. You know what I mean? So, and I just don't want to take that risk with me fish. The plan is, come March, April, when we harvest, if it's a success, then money's going to be invested into securing the site properly, cameras, and turn into a proper, like, working place to be. Right now, it's a lake in a field with no real anything around it. Do you know what I mean? There's like one neighbour, and he's 4 acres away, which is not massive, but 4 acres, for anyone who doesn't know, is about 2 football pitches. So it's far enough away to not be able to hear someone talking. If Liverpool is safe, Ollie. Liverpool's a great place. I'll take you out down around the docks one day. But like, like anywhere, it's not just Liverpool. Anywhere's got bad actors, hasn't it? And essentially, there's potentially a lot of money swimming around in that lake. And someone mentioned Sefton Park. Now, I've heard loads of stories about Sefton Park, people netting the fish, putting them in bin bags, taking them home to their own ponds. Like, you wouldn't believe it. I'd love to educate people on the value of fish, and an Al Koi out of Sefton Park that's probably been in there for 10 years is not worth the price of the bin bag that they took to take it home in. Because the chance is it's probably riddled, it's probably going to die in your pond because it's going to get a shock, and it's probably old, do you know what I mean? They haven't been put in there as big fish, been put in there as tiddlers, and they grew big. Uh, so yeah, it's a unbelievable thing. And since I've been into this koi, yeah, everyone feels the need. So yeah, I'll tell a story. So we've got the dog shop, yeah, And now I'm a scally, and I'm proud of being a scally. But I'm like a nice scally. Do you know what I mean? I'm not violent. I'm not a thief and all that. But I am a scally. I wear all black. Like, you know, I talk how I talk, and I'm proud that I love that. So, but we've got the dog food shop, and I don't like breeding dogs. Some of you might get upset by that. I don't mean you bred your German Shepherd or whatever when you were a kid. I mean having French bulldogs or bulldogs to breed and breed and breed and breed. I'm not a fan of that. It's not my cup of tea. And I explain that to people. Do you know what I mean? I say, look, I'm more about rescue. I'm not a big fan of the whole overbreeding thing. And people literally come in and go, oh yeah, I don't like it when dogs end in rescue. I've bred me Frenchie for the third time this year. Or, you know, in the last 3 years. And I'm just like, wow. Like, they just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's because of our look and our talk. I just don't think they get it. But anyway, getting back to it. The same thing with the koi. Like, they're like, oh yeah, you're into koi and that, aren't you? Yeah, yeah. Oh lads, you know what me mate done? He went to this park by ours, threw loads of food in, netted all the fish, put them in bin bags, stuck them in the back of his car, and by the time he got home, they were all dead. And I'm just like, that's not funny. Like, that's horrendous. You know what I mean? You just killed a load of fish unnecessarily. Like that's horrible. What's going on there? Couldn't beat me if I give you a head start, Jack. Is that a challenge? Are we gonna get races on the go? I was night fishing for Tench in Sefton Park. When the riots kicked off. Probably weren't born. Probably weren't born, Danny. No. So you're talking about the Toxteth riots? No, that was in the late 80s, I believe. I wasn't born till 93. So nope, I wasn't born in the Toxteth riots. But like you know what? This is going a lot better than what I thought. I love the comments. Keep them coming. Meister's got loads from Lakes, Danny Wad. So I'm about the fish. The whole thing of moving fish, the rain is conservancy, guys. I do apologise about the noise. I am gonna have to figure this room out seriously next week. 93 for fuck's sake, Ollie. I'm a young buck. Jack was born in 94. If anyone can believe that, I'm a year older than Jack. Yet size where the koi. I'm in the conservancy, mate. It's a plastic roof or glass roof, whatever it is. So I do apologise about that. Cosmic Koi, hello. Right, flower, I just took 40 with April. These comments are coming through thick and fast, you know, and I'm not the fastest reader at any time, to be honest. 1965, that was the year my mum was born, that nip. That's saying something, innit? 1957, me, oh dear. It's okay, Seska. That's another thing, though, talking about it. It is a lot of older people are into koi. And I've had the conversation, I can't remember who it was with, but it's like, why are the older people? And generally, what I can put it down to is most people don't get into koi until they can afford it. So generally, as you get a bit older, you get a bit of money, you own your own house, that sort of thing, and then that's when you start to build a pond, spend money on fish, filters, because it's not cheap. Even the smallest pond is not cheap, is it? Like, it still costs £1 a day in electricity, £1 a day in food, and, you know, chemicals and whatever. Thanks, Martin, I appreciate it, mate. So yeah, it'll still cost you, like, you know, you still keep fish probably still cost you 50, £100 a month, couple of £100 a month, depending on your setup and stuff like that. Eden Koi, are you telling porkies? So yeah, so sorry, it's not cheap, is it? It's not cheap to be keeping koi. So I think that's a lot of it. Why the older generations are the ones that are into koi and not really younger people, because of the cost, and that's fair enough. But it's a shame, isn't it? Because it's a cracking hobby, and there's a lot of things. So these are like weeks ahead that I'm talking here, because I have plans to talk about these lives for weeks and weeks. So a lot of people go, well, you've got to have 10, 20, 30, 40 years experience to know what you're doing. Now, I can appreciate it. And this is, again, this might be controversial. A few of you might not be big fans of what I'm saying here. But the problem is, if we all have to wait till we've got 10 plus years of experience before we're any good at something, it's not really a level playing field. And it's not really going to happen, is it? So I devote a couple of hours every day to learning about fish and koi and filters and reading and watching YouTube videos and then discrediting the YouTube video that I've just watched because I don't really believe it. Not necessarily live, public. I don't do that. You know, I watch a lot of stuff that I'm not a big fan of, but I don't bring it up. Do you know what I mean? What's Definitely, Mick Lawson, I agree. Jack, definitely agree. Let's crack on and build the community. Let's stop pulling each other apart and ripping into each other's content. Not nice, is it? You know what I mean? But yeah. So lost me train of thought there, haven't I? No, I haven't. So I'm saying about having experience. It's an hard one, yeah. So if someone who's been doing something for 40 years, I had this conversation with someone who's in the comments, and they'll remember this conversation because it was heated. But I had this: if you've been doing something for 40 years, but you've been doing it the wrong way, and I've been doing something for a year, but I've been learning and trying to do it the right way, does 40 years experience outweigh 1 year of knowledge? Because I'm not saying I'm the most knowledgeable, and I'm not the type of person to ever claim to be an expert. Because I personally wouldn't. Even if I've had amazing knowledge on something, I wouldn't claim to be an expert because that's just not my sort of way about things. You know what I mean? I don't like to claim that I know a lot about anything really. Do you know what I mean? I'm definitely a jack of all trades. But what do you think? So, if you've been doing something for years and years and years, but that doesn't make you an expert. It makes you, you've got your bit of knowledge that you've been repeating for years, and you know what you're doing. 20 plus years, having soup on, still learning. Definitely, Jason, and that's my point, mate. That's exactly my point. That you 20 odd years, soup on, and you're still learning. But the problem I've got, sorry, this steel's killing my ass. The problem I've got is that we get this thing going, but I've been doing it for 25 years. Fantastic. I've only been alive for 29 years, so I couldn't have been doing it for 25 years, you know what I mean? So, what are we meant to do to gain that experience? Now, I personally give at least a couple of hours a day to learning. That's how I try and gain my experience. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of what Peter Waddington done 25 years ago. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I've read a little bit about the man. Yeah, what he done for the industry is fantastic, amazing. You do something right, 40 years, and you still have a mistake. Yeah, definitely. Do you know what I mean? And that's the point. And my point about it is that rather than use that same thing what I said before about pulling each other's content down, we shouldn't be pulling each other's koi keeping down because you've been doing it for 40 years and I've been doing it for a year, vice versa, whatever, it doesn't matter. Because as I say, I'm serious about this hobby, so I donate hours, not donate, dedicate hours of my day every single day to learning more. And when I had that thing the other day with the fish, I was on the phone and I was speaking to people who've been in the hobby for years, who've got a lot more knowledge than me, and having a conversation. Now, in the comments of the video, hundreds of people said, "Oh my god, I'm sorry," and one person said, "I don't think it was the silicone." Well, the parameters come back right, so I'm going to say 99% chance it was the silicone. I don't know what else it could have been, but I'm willing to, if someone went to me, this is what it probably was, Danny, then I'd be willing to listen to that, do you know what I mean? Because then I'd be learning. But when someone just goes, well, I don't think it was, well, that doesn't help, does it? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, um, ANC Coin, you'll never walk alone. I'd say Nil Santos is the optimum, only the best is good enough. I'm not a big football fan, I don't really like football, but yeah, I do suppose Everton over anything. But yeah, getting back to it, so the whole thing again is my whole like mindset is about not pulling people down. I've got a lot of experience with dogs, I've got qualifications and stuff like that. but I'm not an expert, and I'll never claim to be an expert. And if I've been end up in this hobby for 20 years, I still won't claim to be a koi expert. If someone asks for help, I'll give them it, but I'd never, never ever, never, I mean, um, I'd never ever like try and tell someone how it is. You know what I mean? Things change continuously. So if you're doing now what you did 10 years ago, it might work for you, but doesn't mean it's the best thing. Right? That's exactly my point, Phil. Phil from Telford Coit, you know what? Absolutely great fella. You know, really nice, really nice man. And I've got me Telford Coit mug just up there. But not really nice man, and you know, it takes the time to send me private messages to ask if everything's okay on certain things. He wished me well on this live today, and I do appreciate it, Phil. The way out of the hobby 10 years and was amazed by the advanced infiltration. So you just set up an RO system, so you're 10 years in and you've just set up an RO system this week, or last week now probably. And that is exactly my point. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. And I think like just because someone, it can be, what's the word? It's like when I first got into this, I was like a sponge. I was talking to everyone and I was absorbing every little bit of information that they'd give me. And then I started going, but that's not what he said. And that's not what they said. So I started reading about it as well. Yeah, I get fundamentals stay the same, but that's not really my point. Like, what my point more is just because having a lot of years of experience doesn't make you an expert, because it's more about knowledge. So doctors, it's a good thing. So doctors train for 5 years, then they become a junior doctor for 10 years. So training for the doctor, a fully qualified doctor, is 15 years. Then they have to donate X amount of hours per year to carry on training to stay qualified. They don't just become a doctor for 5 years in uni and then they're a doctor for life. It's 15 years of training plus every year they have to donate or give, and I don't know how many hours it is, but they have to give hours every single month of that year to stay qualified. Now it's the same principle. If you want to stay qualified in whatever you're doing and you don't want to become stagnant, then you need to keep your knowledge moving forward. Now, unfortunately, in this industry, what I have like, noticed in my short time, that there's not a lot of fresh knowledge out there. Filtration systems have been going on forever, and yet now there's drums. Drums are a big one. And we are giving away a drum as well for anyone who's waiting for me to bring that up. I'll talk about that in a minute. Filtration's a big one. So people are still using old style filters, and that works well. People using the more brand new advanced stuff like the drum filters, again, work fantastic. But if you just stop still and say I'll only use a multi-bay, that's fine, and that's, you know, good on you. You can do that. But you passing that knowledge on is stagnant. For you to teach a new koi keeper that you only use a multi-bay and you will only use a multi-bay, you you're stunting the hobby for everyone. And I hope that makes sense. I hope that doesn't come across like I'm being funny with anyone, because I'm not. It's not aimed at anyone in particular. It's just a general observation that I've made, that like the hobby needs to be advanced, not stunted. So that means every one of our knowledges needs to be advanced. Now, that whether that means watching YouTube videos of other people who've took the time to learn the hard way, and then you take as much of that advice as you can, which definitely, why not? Do you know what I mean? We all learn differently. Or whether you want to physically go and learn it. Do you know what I mean? You actually want to go to Japan, go to Yoshiki, go to these places, and you physically want to get on the ground, learn from the experts, experiment yourself. Do you know what I mean? Push that food to the limit. So your nitrates are through the roof, and you're pushing the boundaries. But as long as you can control that and you know how to deal with that, then that's more knowledge than what I think you'd ever get. Genuinely do. Do you know what I mean? Like, I will experiment this year. I'm gonna push these fish to the boundaries because I want to see how far I can push them. I want to see for first hand what can be done. I don't want someone going to me, no, you can only put X amount of grams in a day. Well, why? Because as long as the fish are going and they're safe and they're healthy and I can keep that water under control, then I'm going to push as far as I can push, and that's going to get my knowledge up. So yeah, we can my filtration is temp, but it works for now. Yeah, and I'm not, can I get that? I'm not having to go with anyone. I run two easy pods. They're not the most advanced filters in the world, but they're suitable. They're both second hand. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't very expensive. So that's not me saying anyone needs to have the most advanced filter. My thing is more about understanding new knowledge and being willing to accept new knowledge and have that conversation. And also when you're passing your knowledge on, I gotta like cross to bear, when people just go, well, I've been doing it 30 years, lad, so you better look at me because I've been doing it 30 years. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, like in the nicest possible way. I'm not listening to you because you've been doing it for 30 years. Like, that's not really, do you know what I mean? You see half these drivers on the roads been driving for 40, 50 years and they can't drive. So why am I going to listen to you looking after fish because you've been doing it for 40 years? Do you know what I mean? Do you get me point? You get some fella, 85, coughing dodging, driving down the road, nearly killing everyone every time he turns a corner because he's been driving for 50 years, 50, 60 years. Are you meant to listen to this guy? Well, I'm not going to listen to that guy. And that's my point, and I hope you get me point. So, right, let's move on. As you know, drum filter. The Koi Pro 30,000 drum filter. Jack was meant to come on live so we could discuss this properly. And hopefully he will next week because I'm going to spend this week sorting this internet out in the conservatory and doing the StreamYard and stuff. I didn't realise, to be honest, you know what I mean? It's just a bit naive, but oh well. Killing me throat though, like we're talking for 47 minutes non-stop, so so drum filter, Koi Pro 30,000 drum filter, retail £2,500. Jack, I spoke to Jack and I said to him, look, we're doing these giveaways and whatever else, and what can I do? And I was a bit cheeky. I said, is there any chance I can have stuff at a cost? And because it's not for me, I'm not benefiting, I'm giving it away. And he said, look, I can do something better. He said there's a promotion on for a couple of drum filters. Like I've got it. He wants to do something big with the drum filters. You know what I mean? There's a promotion on, and so he can get it under what would normally be his wholesale price. And he's like, I won't make a penny on you. You can have it for what I was getting it for, the promotion price, which was an unbelievable price compared to what it should be. I was like, yes, Sam, like, what can we do? He said, I'll get it for you. We sorted with my account. I'll get it for you and give it away. So I was just like, yeah, Sam, like, wow, what a nice thing to do. Do you know what I mean? Because he probably could have just took that and sold it and made a lot more money than he normally would, but instead he didn't. Which I was made up by, do you know what I mean? I thought it was proper awesome. So I thought, I'm going to give this away. I want a big giveaway. And, hey, Captain Koi, how are you, babes? I thought I'd kick Captain Koi out. Fucking hell. I can mark this down as child abuse, harassment and bullying. Go on. Why can't I do that? Lad, you're gone. I can put that down as child abuse. You want to be careful, otherwise I'm going to tell YouTube you're all nonsense. I know I'm only messing, that's a horrible thing to say. Scouts discounts, lad, 5-finger discounts. It's not that I could with a drum filter like, but anyone else, Captain Koi, I've just got rid of you. Yeah, where's this? Right. Jack, you're a moderator. Can you moderate, please? Because I'm not really sure. Dean wanted to be a moderator. I said, there's not a chance in hell I am letting you be a moderator on my channel. Go ahead, Jack. Well, you're the moderator, so if you want to boost him, but I'll leave that up to you, mate. Um, I thought I boosted him like twice. I thought I boosted him. Anyway, well. So yeah. I keep losing my thought of saying. Let's read through some of these comments. Leave him, Danny. You just interrupts your stream, mate. I don't know who it is. Who is he? Why? What's happening, Kyle? Fill me in. Why is this happening? It's Sai. I haven't got a beautiful assistant. I've got Jack. How's Becky taking all the new fish? She tells me to keep it to myself. To be honest, like I'm just like I'm going to get fish. She's like, all right, Sam, whatever. I'm not allowed to drive her car as well when I've got fish. So she's got a nice car and I've got a Galaxy, and the Galaxy is just like a proper shed. It just gets full of fish and wood, and all kinds. It just gets dumped. It's bad, like. And her car's just immaculate. Do you know what I mean? Just brand new car, just sat on the driveway, not a mark on it, and mine just gets absolutely destroyed on a daily basis. But yeah, I'm not allowed fishing it. Ollie, you're not a moderator because you won't accept the cup. Otherwise, oh yeah, the cups. Hey, let's talk about the cups. So, my boys koi mugs, yeah. These are going to be part of the giveaways, but these aren't just normal ones. I got busted by the YouTube police. Oh, I thought that was boss, you know. Can I make people moderators? What's that? Go ahead, make people moderators. I don't care. Just don't make Dean a moderator, because you'll start terrorising people, kicking them off the chat. Yeah, mate, it's raining up here. It's hammering down. I will figure something out. It's hard, you see, because the baby's upstairs, so there's two spare rooms up. Well, my room and then the baby's room and the spare room, so I can't use them because the baby's in bed. Becky's in the living room. Definitely doesn't want to be listening to me talk on this for an hour. I'm only messing, Dean. Well, I'm half messing, but like, yeah, I'm not really. Yeah, just say, I've got yours here. It's all packed. It's ready. It's got your name, address, and everything on it. Also, John Dunn's. They're both in my footwell in my car. I just haven't stopped at the post office to send it. I will send it though for you, mate. I promise you. I just need to stop at the post office and stop being lazy. The Spanish gone to Jack's head. He's got the control. Oh, Dean, that was horrible, mate. Like, Jack boot Dean. P&G was better. Like, you know, Gary's a nice guy, but... Oh, ANC, what have you done? ANC have done something because the bald fellas deleted the messages. Paul Burt, you use your mug every day. Appreciate that, mate. Good mug. So what I've been doing with the mugs, you just know. So I've got like the Yes Lab ones. Then the next one's the What's Happening, and then I've got the I got busted by the YouTube police. I'm never gonna make them again. So if you've got like a Yes Lab one, you got the first one. You got a What's Happening. You got the second one. If you get I got busted by the YouTube police, you got a third one, and then so on, so forth. And my plan is, in a year or two, or even years to come, and then someone's go, I've got like a Yes Lad mug. Like, lad, you got the first one, know what I mean? Might just be a little bit random and a bit gimpy, but I just thought it'd be sick to do it, you know what I mean? I think Jack's just terrorising the chat because I made him moderator. Might have been a bad idea. I thought he'd probably be the best one to do it, probably the worst. I want a mug. Lisa Leach, we are gonna be giving away mugs. Get me as mod, bro. Oh, all these idiots are bad things saying or negative. To be honest, yeah. So I had this conversation with Jack before the live, and I said I'm not necessarily wanting to boot everyone who just says something a little bit negative, because I've seen on other people's lives that it gets a bit like everyone just gets booted, you know what I mean, for saying stuff. So what my sort of take on it is, if someone's being out and out horrible, like just being horrible for no reason, then they'll get booted. But otherwise than that, I'm just gonna name and shame people, and especially if you've got a YouTube channel, you got more chance of getting named and shamed. You know what I mean? I just think it'd be better. I think it'd be funny. Like, I was half open that there was a couple of people who were just gonna try and give me a bit of a hard time today, so I could just be like, lad, look, get here, and then just name and shame them. But yeah, didn't happen. So Stuart York, have you still not got your mug, mate? I'm gonna make you a note. Look, I've got my pen and paper here. I brought a little pen and notepad here. I'm gonna write you a little Stuart York. I sent him a mug and it didn't arrive because Royal Mail were on strike. Someone's probably selling that on a car boot in Wales now. Have you seen all the pictures? People selling everyone's stuff on car boots. Jumpers, Danny, you kept those quiet. So, My Boys Koi, this is a My Boys Koi Liverpool, and then I've got the My Boys Koi hoodie. And then I'm going to be doing other ones. So I'm going to do the black on black. I'm only doing stuff I'd wear, do you know what I mean? So I'm going to do the green and the black, I'm going to do black on black, and I'm going to do the gold writing on the black hoodie. And then I'm going to do MBK ones, because I just think on a day-to-day basis, you haven't got to be like walking around in a hoodie that you wouldn't necessarily wear because it's a fish hoodie, you know what I mean? So I just thought I'll just do like the MBK, black on black, dead smart. And you can just wear that like day-to-day thing, but then if anyone knows like it's a YouTube thing, like, you know, you'll get like a what's happening. They'll be like, yeah, I'm on him. Do you know what I mean? I think I think Jack's just terrorising the chat. No, nothing's wrong with Wales, Darren. I quite like North Wales. But can be a bit rough like, but I do quite like North Wales. It's just that there was a fella on Facebook the other day. He had like hundreds of I think they were Amazon parcels, and he was just selling them all like a lucky dip for a fiver on a stall in Wales, on like a market in town or something. I just thought that's where all my stuff, all my parcels gonna end up, with Stuart York's mug at least. But 2XL, I'll have the first one. Jack got the first one, double XL. So I got three made for me. I got one made for Becky. Did look good on it, to be honest. And then Jack comes to pick up the Nexus from me, and I give him one of my double XL. So I've only got two left, but my next two that I'm gonna order two black on black, two gold on black, and yeah, see how we go for there. See what they look like. I think they're gonna be nice. Like, I think the black on black and the gold on black is like quite discreet, and it's just like day to day hoodies. Because I've got this other thing, yeah. I'm like, why should I go to JD and spend £100 on a hoodie when I can buy My Boys Koi hoodies, flex my own merch, and make them look how I want them to look? You know what I mean? So like, well, that's me. That's what I'm gonna do. Not my neck of the woods, lucky to see a car. Why, where'd you live, mate? Oh, can we not get into the polytunnel Carey's Koi, the grumpy Koi keeper? It's a touchy subject at the moment, I'll be honest, it is. There was Jack's good mate Ollie. he said he knew like about polytunnels, and he was gonna like help Jack out and build this polytunnel. And he did, to be fair, you know, we were all there, he got us in a little group, and we all like made a plan, and then we built polytunnel, and a week later it blew away. But we're not blaming Ollie. It wasn't Ollie's fault, like, per se. He was just the expert on the day, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can put all the blame at Ollie's door. Just 99% of it. I'm sorry I'm late. Just been with 5-star dining in Aberdeen Wetherspoons. Oh lad, I don't like Wetherspoons. Becky made me go into Wetherspoons the other day. It's Tory ran. And yeah, I'm Labour to the core. I can't stand Wetherspoons, but Becky made me eat in Wetherspoons, and I was a bit not happy about it. It's not like I'm not having a go at him, Barry. I'm just saying, like, Ollie was the expert on the day, do you know what I mean? So it was like, he was the guy. I didn't see it, managed to get back into the chat. Darren Williams. Jack's gone a bit power mad, you know, like. Ollie, what did I miss? I fell asleep. Nothing, mate. Nothing. We weren't talking about polytunnels. We weren't blaming anyone. We were just you know, just chilling out. Mate, you're a moderator. You do whatever you think's fit. Wetherspoons is horrible, mate. It is horrible, like, and the food's low quality, and Tories make a lot of money from it. So personally, I refuse to participate. But last week, I got a really horrible Kitsu curry from Wetherspoons. It looked like I'd been microwave boiled in the bag, because Becky was fuming because we were in the Trafford Centre, and everywhere was chocolate, and the Wetherspoons was the only place with a table, so we ended up eating this horrible grill. So yeah, Eden Coy's back, nice to know. So Eden Coy's got a ground show, if anyone doesn't know, and it looks really good. It's £100 Wednesday. You get 2 fish, one's a kahaku, one's a crashy guy. So I'm going to be entering, so yeah, so go and check out Eden Coy's ground show, guys. I don't think he's got loads of tickets available. I know we sold more than half of them so far, so there can't be loads of spaces left. Definitely worth going and having a look. As I say, I will be partaking. Coy Water Barn. So yeah, go and check it out. 115 people in there. You know, there's got to be someone who wants to jump on the ground show. I'll pay Monopoly money for a time out. Yeah, but it's Tory ran. He's saying the ale's cheap in Wetherspoons. Look, the ale is cheap in Wetherspoons. Everything's cheap in Wetherspoons, but it's horrible. I wanted to go to TGI's, but we couldn't get in. Jack's got the spanner. I've already given Jack the spanner. I'm not going to take it off him. I'm not that type of person. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like an Indian guy. Oh yeah, it's me little baby's birthday tomorrow. He's 1. Mikey's 1 tomorrow. So we're gonna have a little party for him on Sunday. We were meant to have it like the other Sunday, yesterday, Sunday gone, but we were all not well all week, so we jibbed it. We're gonna do it next week instead. But yeah, years flown by, you know, like absolutely flew. Can't believe how big he is. He's got a bit of a temper on him as well. Like, I don't like him when he gets angry. He scares me a little bit, to be honest. Just screams in your face, you know what I mean? He's just like, rah! It's like, alright lad, you know, what you want? Just give him some food or give him a toy, so I'm just in it. Just like, it's been Wetherspoons for years. Used to go with food and a pint. Happy birthday, little man, for tomorrow. Appreciate all the happy birthdays. But yeah, he's definitely got his dad's anger. Like, I'm like nearly 30. I'm 30 in March, by the way, people. Jack's 29 in February. I'm 30 in March. So yeah, I'll chill out a bit more. Like, now I'm getting a bit older, but I used to be a bit of an angry head like back in the day. But could do weekend before that all. Gary Webb, 50 in June. Nice, mate. Yeah, halfway to 60. I already feel old. Like, I've got a bad back. Teeth needs sorting out. That Jack's 28. Right now, Jack is 28 years old. Are you trying to say he doesn't look 28? All three of my kids are older than you. That's sick. Like, yeah, I still feel like I'm like 21, you know? Like, I don't just... I know you might be like 30, he's not even old. But it's like that age where you're starting to feel old, you know what I mean? Like, I've got real responsibility. Like, 2 years ago, I had no responsibility, really. Like, now I've got a baby and then I can't just do what I want. Jack is what? You're getting a slime out too in a second. I didn't say you look older, mate. I'm just saying, if people think you look older, drop it in the chat. Oh, David, that's harsh. He doesn't look 45. I would have said 35. April's in time out section on her actions. Look, definitely enjoy life. You've definitely got to make the most of it, and I am one for just taking that chance. Like, I don't really overthink risks in life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll just jump in. Like, if someone goes, do you wanna try this idea out? Oh, yeah, son, let's try it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that bothered. Lose a bit of money or lose a few months of trying, then it's worth it trying it. Seems a bit harsh. Like, no way, Jack is 28. I can't believe I'm 5 years older than Jack, bro. And he's building a koi farm, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just physically taking it out of him. It's like, he just looks a little bit older every day. And I'm the only person in this group that Jack can't kick out. But let's get back to talking about some fish anyway, because I've got these, like, everyone knows that I'm into achievers, and I am massively into achievers. I do love achievers, and I've got this vision that I want a full pond of achiever. And the reason for it is every variety is different, do you know what I mean? You get like showy at the old school and the new school style with more black and less black and stuff like that. And yeah, do you know what I mean? And love showers, I do really like showers, but the achiever, the difference in the achiever, like the Deutsche achievers, and then you got the Gimlin achievers and the normal achievers, the amount of brown on them, the amount of silver on them, they massively vary, and I love that. So I think my sort of like thing is I want every style achiever I can in one pond. I just think it'll look boss. And Sankey as well. I really like Sankeys. I've got my big female Sankey, and I think that's the only Sankey I've got. And yeah, I'm hoping to get a nice male. I want to get a nice another female Sankey, and probably 2 males, and get some Sankey spawns going, get some achiever spawns going. I want to start crossing the lines with the achievers, putting different ones with different ones, some Japanese, put with some Yoshiki Goi, some different sizes, and I just want to mess with it for a couple of years and see what I get, and hopefully, Dino behave scouts, hopefully I'm going to create a bit, it's hard to say, but like a variation of the variety, which is going to be like my own sort of variation. That's me, Soragoi Achiever, right? I'm gonna get onto this Soragoi Achiever right now. Right now, no messing around. ANC Koi, I've just brought it up. I'm gonna get onto it right now. So, Soragoi Achiever. This is a question. I'm gonna put it to you. So I'm not gonna tell you. So I'm gonna say it how I believe it. A Soragoi and a Chagoi make an Achiever. Yeah. So you put a Soragoi and a Chagoi together and you make an Achiever. Then you put another Soragoi and another Chagoi together and you make another Achiever. Then you cross Achiever and Achiever, you make more Achievers, Achiever and Achiever, you make more Achievers. But what happens when you go and get one of your Achievers and then you put a Soragoi with it and it comes out more Soragoi than it does Achiever? is that still just a chiba? And this is the genuine question I'm putting out there. Yes, it looks like an Achiever, but at the same time, it looks like a Soragoi in body shape, colours and stuff like that. So I'm proper pushing on this, that it's like saying when you cross dogs, and so years ago you didn't have like a Jack Chihuahua, which is Jack Russell and Chihuahua, did you? It wasn't, you had a Jack Russell, you had a Chihuahua, or you had a cross. Um, So I'm not saying there's a Soragoi Chiba. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is to identify the slight differences in fish. I don't think there's any harm in saying that is a Soragoi slash a Chiba. Does anyone agree? Disagree? What do you think? I ain't see Koya never gonna agree. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just on a one man. Like what is it? I can't think of the word. The crusade to just like be like there's no such thing. But yeah, but the problem is if we just say everything's just an Achiever, everything's just a Sankey, everything's just a Showa, then how do you explain to someone with less knowledge than yourself what the difference is? How do you do it? Because otherwise you can look at 10 fish all together, all Achievers, completely different. One's mainly brown with tiny bits of grey, one's one long and thin, one's like stumpy like a rugby ball, and go through all Achievers. Look, it doesn't have to help me out. It doesn't have to help me out. I'm sticking with this 110%. That I believe, and this is the whole snobbery thing. I'm going to get back to this. This whole, like, if you don't know the names and the varieties and everything else, you're like, it's like you haven't got knowledge. And it's like, well, I am arguing strongly on the fact of, like, what if the names are like confusion in the sense of that, yeah, it's an Achiever, but it's more of something else. Do we just still just call them all Achievers? For fuck's sake, a blue nose. Was that aimed at me, Will? I've got an Everton thing up there somewhere. What's a woolly back? Not to be horrible, Jack, but you would class as a woolly back. Anyone who's out from outside of Liverpool is a woolly back. Generally, it come from, I think it was Warrington. There used to be a big hill or something. They don't quote me on this. And they used to put sheep's wool on the back to carry the whatever it was up the hill. And it got the same woolly back. And then anyone outside of Liverpool would then be called a wool, which is a woolly back. Hopefully we see the shit. Sad, but you know, you see more Scousers who support Everton than you see Scousers who support Liverpool, and you know, definitely saying something considering it's a Liverpool team. But guys, yeah, we've been on for an hour and 13 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up in about 5 minutes, so I hope you've enjoyed it, and I don't want to drag it out all night and just keep waffling on. Gary, home, garden and RC flying things has just had a message deleted. Can I view the deleted message? What's Gary Webb said? Gary Webb's in a timeout to play football his pants. Okay. I definitely feel like Jack might be losing that blue spanner next week. Like, I'm almost going to say I haven't got a blue spanner for his chat as well. Oh look, I definitely don't want to be getting into the whole football thing. I've got no interest in football whatsoever. Millwall, Everton, and Righty or Gaff. Look, can we jib the football? I don't like football. It's a fish channel. Let's talk about fish. Who's got the best net? Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Been a pleasant live. Spots on. That's what I call my koi sheep. Got a woolly back. Thanks. Ollie Log has got this serious angle with me, yeah. I think he thinks I'm being horrible to him. I'm not being horrible to him. I'm just giving him stick because the polytunnel he put up blew away. And I just think you need to own it, Ollie. Just accept it, and we can all move on. And take one of me mugs while we're at it, and then we can, we can just knock it on the head. So the drum filter in the Tempest will be getting drawn the last week of January. Someone will be winning a brand new Tempest, and then the drum filter will be getting drawn when I hit 1,000 subscribers. Not before, not even one subscribe before. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Sorry about that, babe. Yeah, so drum filter, brand new, with £2.5 will be getting drawn when I hit 1,000 subs. The Tempest will be getting drawn the end of the month, regardless of the amount of subs I've got. There's going to be another giveaway on Wednesday, so I'm going to draw the giveaway for the Saki Akari, the Duck, and the Silkworm Pupa tomorrow. So tomorrow's video will be drawing that giveaway. Wednesday we'll be announcing the next video, which I've got here, the prize for that. Then the end of the month we'll do the Tempest. We're going to do one obviously in between the giveaway over the weekly, and then the end of the month we're going to be doing the Tempest at the end of the month. The drum filter when he gets 1,000 subs. And yeah, I think as I say, you've got to be subscribed to win though. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. I appreciate it. Everyone's very nice comments, and it's an hour and 16 minutes now, and it's been good. I'll be honest. Even though I'm talking to myself and it's very quiet in here, it feels a bit weird. It is good to just be like, cause I can't read the comments out as fast as they come through, but I'm scanning them. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just picking up on little bits. I never quite look forward to you having you being good, right, guys? So I appreciate everyone watching, and we're gonna end the live here. As I say, there's a video coming out tomorrow. We're drawing the next drawing last week's giveaway. So catch it all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.